How do you make a Duxelles of mushrooms? Hi, I'm Rita Eats with developmentoftaste.com, and we are doing weekend cooking techniques with Jacques Pepin's La Technique. A Duxelles of mushrooms is basically a fancy way of saying sauteed mushrooms, shallots, and butter, and it's the basics of a lot of French cooking. Now this weekend we are making Jacques Pepin's crispy chicken thighs, which uses a Duxelles along with some white wine, and it's a simple 20-minute meal. So, how do you make it? We actually build some of the techniques we've learned already. You're going to use your knife skills to chop the mushrooms, and then you're going to use your onion chopping skills to chop the shallots. Now I've already chopped some of them here for you, and I just want to give you a word about mushrooms. Mushrooms should not be rinsed the way other vegetables are. What you want to do is take a damp paper towel and just wipe the dirt off of them. That keeps them from getting wet, and it keeps them nice. Then we're going to chop them up here using our technique that we learned in week 1. And don't worry about how uniform it is with these, because they're going to go right into the food processor to get a fine chop. The other thing about mushrooms is that they really are best when they're fresh. So if you don't have fresh mushrooms, Jacques Pepin recommends using a plain piece of paper towel to squeeze them out and get the brown juices out before you cook them. But lucky for us, ours are pretty fresh. So we're going to go straight into the food processor with them. And the trick to getting an even chop without getting any mushy here is that we're just going to pulse them. Let it come to a stop and pulse. If you find that for any reason it's not pulsing completely evenly, it's fine to just stick your hand in there since we're at home, right? Alright, and now we have all our basic components that we need. We have our shallots and our mushrooms and our butter over by the stove, and let's go look at what... Okay, now we're going to come over here to the pan and we're going to take our chicken out and just place it on a pan, and I like to use a pan where it can drain a little farther because chicken thighs have a fair bit of fat in them. And we're just going to place them in a warm oven while we finish up. And we're going to take about a tablespoon of butter. Remember that Duxelles is a butter base. And our shallots, and in this case we're actually going to be using garlic too, although that's not in the basic recipe in La Technique.
Hi again.
Spread those around, and then we're going to grab our mushrooms. Yeah, that's right. Raw chicken on it. We're going to let this cook around for about 2 minutes. Liquid has cooked off of your mushrooms. We're going to add about a 1/3 cup of dry white wine to our pan. And a dash more just for fun. And we're going to let that cook down for a minute or 2, and then we will serve it with our chicken. Now, this is a really simple technique. You can make this whole recipe minus the white wine for less than $5. So I highly recommend it if you're having a tight budget week, and I highly recommend it anyway just because it tastes good. I'm Rena Eats with developmentoftaste.com, and we have been doing weekend cooking techniques with Jacques Pepin. Check in next week and we will learn how to seed a cucumber. Have a great week.